Hi, everybody. My name is Alan York. We're a week out, and by the time you watch this, maybe less than a week out from Liberty football kicking off the season here at home in Lynchburg on Saturday, August 31st against Campbell. We're going to be chopping it up with Executive Director of the Flames Club, Mike Hagen. A lot of stuff to cover, Mike. Website story a couple of days ago came out with some of the nuances of a Liberty game day here for 2024. Just want to start with you and your staff, the excitement you're hearing from the fans as we kick this season off here on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. For sure, coming off of last season, record-breaking for Liberty football in so many ways, and unbelievable excitement for Coach Chadwell, year two. High expectations, I think, from all of us. But it was great. We had Fan Appreciation Day on Saturday, and to see a lot of folks that maybe we haven't seen since a baseball game or basketball in the fall, and just the love and passion that people have for Liberty football, and we'll be ready to go in a week.
All right, let's start parking first. Getting onto campus, maybe getting off to campus, brand new parking deck to talk about on North Campus. Where do we start there?
Yeah, so first thing is just kind of like going into game day, have a plan, right? We've got some great options for all of our Flames Club members on parking, but for all general fans, if you really want a premium parking spot, we have the paid parking deck, which we'll talk about a little bit more. Great free parking options in the Runkin Pratt parking deck or the Academic Commons garage, Thomas Road, Green Hall areas, but make sure you have a plan and you know which roads close. So we start to close roads 3.5 hours prior to game day. Okay. We do have free shuttles. ADA parking is in the parking deck this year, but make sure you know where you're headed and when you're coming on campus.
When you heard about the new North Campus parking deck and how it was going to be utilized during the school year on game days, what was the first thought that you had?
I mean, I think it just gives us a lot of options. So previously our ADA parking was at the indoor track, which of course is on the other side of 460. A little bit of a shuttle ride. That route kind of extended everyone's shuttle trip, and a lot of our staff parked out at the natatorium. And so being able to move ADA parking this much closer to the stadium, and you compare us to other schools, it's across the LaHaye lot, but it's, 300 yards from the actual stadium, and we'll have direct shuttle access. I think it's an unbelievable option for paid parking and for those folks that might need a little more help getting into the stadium.
Paid parking in that North Campus lot.
Correct.
But if you have an ADA tag, it's complimentary, correct?
That's correct. So anybody with an ADA placard or license plate, just go into that paid line, and when you pull up, our great parking attendants will just check you in and not charge you anything and guide you to a parking spot.
Let's talk about golf cart access. That's become very popular, not only this campus, but other game day atmospheres around the country. Very convenient. There are some changes to the golf cart usage.
Correct.
And our opportunity, we've talked about it already on some podcasts, but why the changes and what should those fans expect that are used to getting golf cart access?
Yeah, so a really big change for us this year. In the past, we did have a lot of golf carts, and so we tried to keep up with it and just realized as our game day has grown and crowds have grown, we can't meet that demand. And not only is it staffing, but we literally can't get enough golf carts. And so that, combined with the fact that the ADA and the North Campus parking deck are so close, we just realized we need to provide great customer service, and doing so may look a little bit different, but I would say simpler for anybody, again, with that ADA placard, park in the North Campus parking deck. If you can't walk from your parking spot, that's what we would recommend as well. We do have free shuttles from the free parking lots as well, but just a nuance there. If, grandma and grandpa or somebody's hurt and in a cast, recommend they park at the parking deck and take that shuttle, which will go directly to gate 1, and we're going to have a direct shuttle back to that parking deck post-game.
I know how I get onto campus, all 460, come right by the Hardys and McAdoo's. The deck is right there on a game day. Is that how fans would get to the deck?
It is. They'll get in across from what people would know as the extended stay on University Boulevard on the LaHaye Ice Center side. Okay. But that's how they'll get in, and parking ranges from $15 to $25 depending on the game.
And you mentioned shuttle service. For fans that have ADA needs that do park in that north deck, there'll be signs on how to access the shuttles, correct?
Yeah, and so we'll have a shuttle that'll pick up right at the parking deck. Pre-game, it will drop off at FanFest and Gate 1. So Gate 1, you're, maybe 20 yards from actually being in the stadium. And then post-game, there'll be a shuttle that goes directly back to just the parking deck.
Okay.
And so you don't have to get on the shuttle that kind of makes the big campus loop. You can get on the one directly to the parking deck.
Joined by Mike Hagen, Executive Director of the Flames Club. Liberty football kicking off its season Saturday against Campbell. 6 o'clock kickoff at Williams Stadium. All right, you mentioned FanFest, Mike. Let's dive into that. It's been popular the last couple of years. Autova is the sponsor for the FanFest. What changes might the fans see come Saturday with FanFest?
Yeah, I think FanFest has become a great tradition for those that get here on campus and see the walk, right?
Yeah.
And it's the drum line and cheer and Sparky, and then, of course, the team, right? And Coach Chadwell. And it's a great opportunity to high-five the players. You see a lot of the players give mom and dad a hug, right? It goes right through the Flames Club pregame tailgate. And then we have cheer and dance, both do a little bit of performance during there, but it's just the bouncies. It's a great atmosphere for fans. The biggest change this year is it's outside of the secure area. And so in the past, you would have to go through security and present your ticket before you entered FanFest. Now that will happen outside of FanFest before you enter the stadium. And so a great option for families, if they want to tailgate, you don't have to end your tailgate to come into FanFest. You can come in, watch the walk, watch cheerleader, marching band, maybe go back and tailgate for a little while. Students, we know, often had to go through the student gate, so they can come into that area before. And I think it'll be an easier game day experience for our fans.
You mentioned outside the secured area.
Yeah.
New this year, you don't need a ticket to get into FanFest. Is
Correct.
that part of the reasoning for that or something else?
Yeah, I think we often heard from people that they would, like I said, end their tailgate and get into the stadium, and then they have to scan out. So we wanted to make it as easy for fans as possible and really make sure as we build up that area, we've talked about live music, some additional performances. We just want it easy for fans to get to. And so there it is outside of the ticketed area.
Other opportunities for tailgating. Tailgate Town, which is on the south end zone outside the Colonnade. Where has that grown since we started doing that?
Yeah, we're going into year 3 with Tailgate Town. It's a blast. It is one of the best tailgating atmospheres that I've seen, and we handle all the headache. And so I'll credit my staff. They do a fantastic job, but there's a small cost, and I think it's really reasonable. But we put up the tent, the tables, the chairs. You have the big screen TVs, so if you want to watch a game day or another game that's going on before, we often have cheer and Sparky come through that area. But we handle all the headache, and so you just show up, you can bring your food, and we will have partner caterers who will bring all the food to your tent for you. So we consider it turnkey. You don't have to do any tear down, and in fact, you get 2 parking passes for the bookstore, which is right across the street.
Oh, it's great.
And we have students who will go over, unload your car for you, and take it to your tent. And when you're done tailgating, either before the game or after, they'll take all those items back to your car for you.
Mike, getting into the stadium sometimes can become bottleneck depending upon when you get to the game. There are some new access points to get into the stadium, especially outside of the FanFest, to make it easier.
Correct.
What need did your staff and ticketing see to add another entry point to the stadium?
Yeah, just as game day has grown and more people park on the North Campus, Thomas Road, kind of end of campus, and that played into the FanFest decision that there will be a new entrance from that corner of the outdoor practice field.
Yep.
And you'll walk right up the stairs and be in the west side of the stadium. And so, you know, as we say, be early, be loud, and wear red. Always want to remember we do have a clear bag policy, so leave those backpacks and those things at home. You are allowed 1 bottle of water, and so especially as we look to that Campbell game on August 31st, it may be hot. Take advantage of that, but leave other food items, use your clear bag, and just be ready for game day.
6 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, the 31st. Liberty hosting Campbell. FanFest will open at 3:30, 2.5 hours before kickoff. All right, Mike, as we wrap things up, we've talked parking, we've talked pregame tailgate stuff. Anything else about the Flames Club or game day maybe we've not covered that you want to kind of take it home here?
Yeah, I would just say for everyone that's looking at preparing for game day, probably the biggest thing we hear is about parking. The best way to get a parking spot is by joining the Flames Club. And so not only are you supporting our student athletes and coaches and really the mission of training champions for Christ, but if you join at that Eagle level, which is $150 for the year, okay? And that will give you a parking pass if you have season tickets for football and basketball and baseball. So you don't have to make that gift 3 times a year. You just join once for your family, and it's a great deal, and you're supporting our student athletes along the way.
Appreciate Mike stopping by here, doing a great job, executive director with the Flames Club, leading us into kickoff on Saturday the 31st, 6 o'clock against Campbell.
Thanks, Alan.